Hi guys, it's Blackie for Shaman's Forge Bushcraft. Okay, in this little episode I want to talk about resource mindset. When I was a kid, everything that we had was being retasked, reused as much as possible. When you finish using a jar that had food in it, like a jelly jar, it was washed and became something else. That was used for putting up more preserves, it was used for taking for lunch, it was used as a drinking glass, whatever. And you young people won't remember, but I remember us getting bags of flour, bags of sugar, things like that, that had printed fabric. And Granny would go through and pick the ones she wants because she had patterns to turn those sacks into shirts and things for kids and whatever. We constantly used, reused, or recycled. So I was raised with that kind of mindset to replan something. So, I was at a little gathering here recently, and there was a yard sale type deal, and I'm walking around, and this guy had a ton of surplus, and he was getting rid of it. And he had the damage pile. And so I went to looking at the damage pile. Now, here's what I got from the damage pile. Those don't count. First off, I got a U.S. Army duffel bag. You've seen these forever. Okay? I've got a U.S. Army poncho in good shape, except for it's got a little hole in it. So that's not a poncho anymore. It's a resource. I also have got one of these ring core two-sided tarps, and this one has got a pretty good hole in it as well. I've also got one of the big bag liners. Now, I did a video here recently about using these for lining your pack and etc. Well, I've got several of these, and this one is in pretty good shape, so I'm going to retask it. And then finally, we of course have got one U.S. Army butt pack that's missing the pull string liner. Total cost for all of this, 15 bucks. Yep, that's right, 15 bucks. Now, I can already hear you. What are you going to do with a tarp that's got a big old hole in it? What are you going to do with a poncho with, I mean, look at the size of that hole in this thing. Where's that hole? I mean, that's not just a piece of duct tape going to fix that. You're right. I don't see it anymore as a poncho. You know what I see? Poor man's oilcloth. I bet that'd make a pretty good haversack. Whole lot cheaper than Egyptian cotton. It's in good shape. Fairly tough, fairly light, fairly thin. I bet you I can make a haversack out of that. And these sections where it's torn and everything, that could become waterproof bags or pretty waterproof to put in my pack. All kinds of stuff. The hood's not even in bad shape. But I was thinking, you know, if I took and cut that in half of a poncho, that's that wide. That becomes a waterproof barrier put underneath my blankets. It becomes a small roll-up thing that I can pull out of my haversack to put around my shoulders in inclement weather. It becomes a disposable ground cloth. Now, the tarp has got the hole in it. Not a big bad hole. Little duct tape. It'll fly. It'll become a cover for something where I want to put it over something and leave it. I'm going to be setting up a permanent camp here pretty soon. And something I can leave out there that cost me a grand total of like $3. Yeah, little duct tape. I can live with that. The butt pack can easily be turned into a real small knapsack. It's got these D-rings up here in the top. Eliminate the old keepers and just put some straps to it and become a real small little knapsack place to hang your bedroll underneath. That's a project. Now, the big old liner that we talked about, I'm going to open this up, and when I do, it's going to become a great big old sheet of rubber-coated Condura nylon. What could you make out of that? And the sack. One, it can be used for something to put my stuff in and put in my car when I'm traveling, for my go bag or whatever to ride in it, etc. But, you know, this is really good Condura nylon. Well made. It's not bad messed up. It's got the straps. It's got the, you know, little pocket on it, etc. And I'm betting, in fact, there's the travel orders from the original person in it. I'm betting that I can open this up and recycle this into something. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to take tonight while I sit there at the TV, and I'm going to take my razor sharp little pocket knife, and I'm going to start taking these seams apart. You got good buckles, you got good strapping material, you got a good carrying strap. There's a pair of straps to turn that butt pack into a little bitty knapsack. That's what I want to do. So that's the next project. Now, look at what you got. When I was a boy, what I was taught was, before you throw it in the garbage, sit there and think about what you can do with that. What can I make out of it? If you come up with a bunch of uses, save it. If you can't come up with any use, pitch it. Usually you'll get the imagination to find a way. Now I'm going to take this pile and recycle it into something. And you're going to see it in upcoming videos. But I want you to know where it came from and how cheap it was. It was 15 bucks for all this. And as it sits right now, it's got uses. By adding a little bit of resourcefulness and a little bit of hands-on, we're going to turn it into something. Because I'm going to build a haversack. Now, like I said, there's poor man's oilcloth right there. But I think I'm going to make one out of this Condura nylon. So, next video, you get to see where this gets turned into something. I'm Blackie for Shaman's Forge Bushcraft. Wishing you safe journeys, guys. Have a great day.